Right now, Toronto is in the middle of a massive project aimed at preventing floods like the one we saw in July. Billed as the largest stormwater management project in the city's history, it is designed to prevent sewers from backing up during periods of extreme rainfall by adding new tunnels to the network. Joining us with more this morning is Catherine Backus. She's the Managing Director of Finance and Resilience at the Intact Centre on Climate. Welcome to your morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
So Toronto currently has what's called a combined sewer system. What does that mean?
That means that sewage and rainwater systems are combined through the same piping systems. Therefore, when we have very high precipitation events, these the stormwater actually pushes through the sewer systems and pushes sewage back up into people's homes, onto roads, and into waterways.
Which explains a lot of the mess that we've been seeing as we've had more and more of these extreme weather events, just a few weeks ago, in fact. How is this project going to address the problem of flooding overall in the city of Toronto? Because it's not only residential areas we see this. I mean, and remember the DVP was completely flooded at the bottom. It was a lake.
Yeah, exactly. And you're completely right. So when we have these very heavy rainfall events, what we tend to see is that the stormwater, it overwhelms the sewer systems and it causes what's called combined sewer overflow. So as you were saying, it flows into water bodies such as Lake Ontario, onto the Don Valley Parkway, and into people's homes. So the purpose of this project is they have these very large, very impressive tanks. They hold a lot of water, and the purpose of them is to capture and store that water during high flow events. And then when that water recedes, these tanks will actually be able to release that water slowly into sewer systems where it can then be treated and released or discharged appropriately into water bodies. And what this is going to help with is it's going to reduce water pollution, it's going to help with environmental protection, and it's going to reduce the impact from these major flood events and the costs associated with them.
This issue of flooding and extreme weather events is happening right across the country, but ones involving large levels of rain falling in one day, especially in this region, are expected to increase by 83% by the end of this century. In fact, Toronto has already seen its wettest summer on record, and we still have 10 days to go till the end of summer. So how far does this project go in addressing that kind of an increase and that kind of change?
So you're correct. We know from authoritative bodies that it is going to get hotter and wetter across Canada. So that means we're going to have bigger storms with more water coming down over shorter periods of time. So with this project, based on my understanding of it, they did take climate scenario analysis and modeling into consideration. And so when I say these tunnel systems, they're very impressive. They hold over 650,000 cubic meters of water. Wow. And that is meant to be adequate for the rain today, but also the rain for the future as well.
Oh my goodness, what if one of those cracked or leaked or broke? That's a lot of water to release all at once.
Of course, you would assume that with the engineering and the construction of it, they've put safeties into place, you would hope, at least.
Yeah, with the completion date for the stormwater management estimated to be about 15 years away, what solutions or answers does Toronto have in the meantime?
Of course, well, right now, of course, we should be thinking about major infrastructure projects. It is the cost-effective strategy. We need to be putting flood control structures and systems into place. That would be berms, diversion channels, cisterns, holding ponds. We need to complement that traditional gray infrastructure with retaining and restoring green infrastructure, wetlands, grasslands, and forested areas that attenuate the effects of flooding. We need to be looking at culverts. So these are subterranean waterways that direct water around obstacles, roads, and bridges. These are too small, and with the increasing precipitation amounts, we're actually seeing them collapse under heavy rainfall. And so we need to rebuild these, and we need to rebuild them bigger. But as of right now, these projects could take dozens of years, as you were saying. And so what can we do right now? Well, we need to inform homeowners and renters. What can they do at the level of their homes to take risk out of the system? And we actually know what homeowners can do in practical, meaningful, and cost-effective steps. Right now, we also need to ensure that we have emergency alert systems in place. Why were people still driving on the Don Valley Parkway? The Don Valley Parkway should have been closed. Worst case scenario, you're stuck in traffic for 5 or 6 hours. Or sorry, best case scenario is you're stuck in traffic for 5 or 6 hours. Worst case scenario is what we saw in Nova Scotia last year when emergency alert systems were not put out appropriately, and sadly 4 people passed away. So education materials to homeowners and renters and emergency alert systems need to be put into place now and ready to go when the big storms hit.
Catherine Backus, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.